School activities are one of the most exciting things you can do in high school. You make new friends, you get to go new places, and you can participate in some really cool events. But what if all that was taken away from you? What if someone on your team or in your club forced you to humiliate yourself in front of a big group of people, and if you didn't do what they said, you wouldn't be allowed to join? Well, these type of behaviors, called hazing, are becoming a growing issue. First, let's clarify what hazing really means. Hazing is a practice of rituals and other activities involving harassment, abuse, or humiliation used as a way of initiating a person into a group. These activities can include beatings, humiliating tasks, or even sexual abuse. A lot of these cases go unheard because the students think if they come to the surface with their issue, they will not be allowed to join the club or sport. But sometimes, not saying anything can lead to something even more horrific than just getting kicked out of a club.
Each night, something happened to one or two other kids.
They're always told you have to do what they say, when they say it, how they want it.
What is this?
Two of the kids grabbed me, pulled me in the other room. There was about 40 kids in there just waiting for me.
It's team exercise. Yo, what the f is that?
I was afraid they would just open my mouth and dump it down my throat, and I would have no choice if I said no.
Get on this floor and clean it spotless or else.
The word hazing doesn't do any justice to what has gone on now. It's more of sexual abuse, harassment, assault, physical and mental.
We only know how many kids die. We know that for the last 40 years, at least one child has died each year because of hazing, and last year 4 kids died because of hazing. And I personally think many, many more kids die because of hazing. It just goes under alcohol, intoxication, or overdose.
Come on, you can do it. What are you talking? No. Grow up, Harold. Come on, you want to be on the team, don't you? No, not that bad.
It's horrible. It's demeaning and degrading, and it's really not worth it in the end if you think you have to do these things just to make a few friends.
In Florida today, 13 people were charged in the beating death of a Florida A&M drum major.
In 2011, a drum major in the Florida A&M marching band, Robert Champion, was beaten to death by fellow members of the band on a bus during a hazing ritual called Bus C, where students try to run through the bus while being beaten.
Marching 100.
This was a surprising case in the college, because before this, many people believed that hazing only occurred in fraternities. Apparently, this school has a prevalent problem with hazing. Even after the death of their drum major, 3 students were expelled on account of beating a female student and giving her sustainable injuries. If we take a deeper look into the situation, we can find that this problem is actually in a large part the fault of the staff. According to the girl who was beaten, the band's director neglected the report of her abuse by fellow band members. If you are or were in trouble, aren't you supposed to have an adult to talk to? Then why now do the staff ignore our cries for help at the very moment we need it most? You may be wondering why I'm talking about some college from halfway across the country when I'm trying to bring a situation to light close to home. Well, maybe reality will hit you harder if I show you that this is a pressing problem in our own county. At Sayreville War Memorial High School, the administration has made an executive decision to cancel the football program. The problem here is not as dire as with the A&M marching band, but it is still putting the students' safety at risk. These precautions were taken to ensure that inappropriate conduct at a significant and serious nature did not occur in the locker room during the games. The senior football players have been harassing the freshmen in the locker rooms to the extent that the freshmen arrive early and leave early to avoid being in the locker room at the same time as the seniors. Just a few days ago, a mother of a student who was a victim of one of these attacks came forward about exactly what happened. I will not go into detail, but it does involve sexual abuse. The school is still conversing and meeting about what action should be taken in this situation, but this might be the issue itself, the staff. The assistant coach for the team was recently arrested on possession of steroids. Again here, we see an example of neglect from the staff to help the students in need. Instead, these coaches are setting the example that breaking the law is okay. Hazing is against the law, and if you are caught doing it, you could be arrested and sent to jail. It is very harmful to the student's education to believe that breaking the law is okay if a staff member does it. Condoning these sort of behaviors could lead to a dark future for the students. If they are not convicted of any wrongdoing, They will think it is okay to ridicule and harm others for their enjoyment. This mindset could possibly lead to gang-related activity when they are older, and what's ironic is that they will probably have to undergo hazing to enter that gang anyway. It seems that at most high schools, the situation is either handled well enough that it is not an issue, or it is an issue. Students just don't come forward with what they have experienced. I conducted a survey and passed it along to some of my peers. So far, I have 18 responses, and of those responses, 4 have confessed to actually being victim to a hazing activity. These are students from our school. It's not just an issue that might be prevalent for someone else. It is right here. Even if it is not a really terrible incident like what happened with the A&M marching band, it still happens. In my survey, I asked if they thought our school would be able to fix the hazing problem, however prevalent it was. Of the 18 people who took the survey, 9 people said no, and 9 people said yes. This means that 50% of the people believe our school would not be able to handle the hazing problem if there was one. The only way to solve this issue is to report to a staff member if you see anything suspicious. But the easiest way to make sure hazing does not occur in your school is to pledge to not participate in any hazing activities and to not support these behaviors. I know it seems simple, but you could be saving a life.